Gray shadows play, casting iron night and day. Silent workers, hands of gold, creating magic strong and bold.
Hello and welcome to the next one, and we'll just officially start calling it a vlog and change the, of course, intro. So, today's is brought to you by me staying awake. I couldn't resist the Tactus Squatch, but, In any case, we are going to go through a couple of things today related to the latest updates that have come out in the EMPOWER, a little bit of what's coming out in the EMPATH, and just a few updates. So version 1.0A, we went ahead and released it. We're also including some components that are being incorporated into version 1.1. Version 1.1 will be out first week in January. Next week I'll be able to show you some of the additional features in that, but we'll discuss those briefly. As always, MotorDoc related systems have free updates to software. So that's that. And the second thing, well actually there's two more things. The next one is that don't forget the price goes to the normal price starting January 1st. So from where we are now, which is around 5K, will now be 10K starting in about 3 or 4 weeks. So if you are going to pre-purchase, whether you want that this year or you want me to deliver next year, orders have to be in before the 31st of December. We have them in stock, so they ship the same week. We just put in our next order of hardware, so that arrives Monday. So in any case, we're staying up. They are moving pretty quickly, thank goodness. Which also gets to the next point. We have selected the Gary Sinise Foundation for this quarter's donations from the sales. So we will, during the time between Christmas and New Year, we'll go ahead and make that donation. In any case, let's get into a quick demo on where we are with the EMPOWER system first. So I'll bring this over, and as always, I went ahead and we've left the background in for now as well. So you'll see this. And then here's the EMPOWER. Now we've added a couple of things. So this is in version 1.0A. Including the new motor. That button is going to go away. That will be referred to as database. That's going to pull up my bearing database and my rotor bar and stator slot database. And when we come out with the version that includes wind turbines, that will include a database of rotor and stator slots for wind turbines, as well as some other information. So all of that it will be there. That's going to be version 1.1, although we have put together quick bearing database for folks that want to access that information. The other thing we did was specific to a project, and originally I was not going to include power quality in the system, but based on a request and based upon some research we're doing on high order harmonics, I'm going to demonstrate this. This is the harmonics section, and this will take whatever data that you're using. It's going to allow you to do a couple of things beyond the standard equipment and so on. So when we come here, if I open up an analysis, let's say I'm going to grab data I had taken from this laptop. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that, and then we will take, of course, this one here, the M Club, that's where we took the data. Okay, you can see also everything's running in the background. This is the Death Wish. The Tactus Squatch comes next. I just needed the higher caffeine hit first. Okay, you can see it's prepping, and shortly it's going to populate everything here. Okay, it's across the line. It's basically, we were at the hotel. What I do is, for demo kits, we'll have these. It's one of these here that you plug in, and you can plug something else into it, and then you can take your data from this for training purposes and so on. Okay, with everything running, everything's running slow. Now, that was another thing. I was asked the question, yes, I could actually have several versions of this software open at the same time. Version 1.2 is scheduled to have a trending capability in it. So in any case, so this is not a motor, obviously. So I don't have to run the auto analysis to have it troubleshoot a motor. But this is, you can see, fan running in the PC and then not over here. This only goes out to 5 kilohertz. But we're taking data at 44.1. Okay, and part of the discussion on high order harmonics, let's go ahead and open this up. So I click on harmonics. That tells it that when I click on this, it's going to open up the full spectrum first. Okay, here's the full spectrum. And this goes out to just over 22 kilohertz. Now, we may expand this further later on. And, right now, this is to 367 orders when I show you that. But let me take a look at something. Okay. So this is out to 367 orders when I show that, but you'll notice this is all in dB, and that's because I want to see the relative force associated with the noise and other things in the system. And you can see I've got a 20 kilohertz sitting out here that's popped up, and a 5 kilohertz, so that's 4 times this. So there's a small amount at 10, a small amount at 15. This is the relative force difference. And I'll show you what that means in a little bit. So when I'm here, I can then select harmonic analysis. Now I have all the capabilities of zooming in and doing whatever I need if I want to use this to look at conditions in the system that I'm evaluating that are way out there, right? So this is this is a valid system all the way out through 22K. So any of the peaks associated with it are actually at 0.009 hertz accuracy each bin. So that's resolution, I'm sorry, not accuracy. So let's go ahead and we select harmonic analysis, and what that's going to do is that is going to show me, so that's done, my waveform across that 120 seconds. So if I want to zoom in and take a look and say, see, I want to take a look at this sliver and see what the waveform looks like, and then go back or scroll along if I click this, and then see what on earth happened here, I can come in and take a look at this information and see, wow, that's nasty. So something was going on there that of course really messed with my spectra. So I have all of that, and I am missing the next piece. So let's try this again. All right, something happened while I was opening it, so it skipped a line. So anyways, this button shows up, and I click on that, and that will open up harmonic orders out to the 367th. Now, this shows the relative force. Now, one of the things we know about supraharmonics, the high order harmonics that we were talking about before, you'll notice here too, my RMS current at each of the frequencies based upon my fundamental frequency, in this case of 60 hertz. So when this opens, you can see all the way over here, there's stuff over here. So, and you also, a dialog box opens up. Now this is because all of these can be exported into a report. So I could say M club outlet, whoops, club, not blub, club outlet and laptop. Okay, so I have that there. Now whatever I show here, so say I want to see what this looks like, well, let's take a look here instead. We're going to come up to this part here so we can see what the current looks like at 1400 hertz. We're going to take a look and say with our waveform, we're going to zoom into a section. I want to be in pretty close. Okay, so there's the section I'm interested in that I want to demonstrate to somebody. And then finally, here, let's go ahead and I can either zoom in. Let's go from the back this way and see my harmonics here, or I could technically I could, if I wanted to, come all the way out here. Say I see some peaks out here. I can zoom in to those, and you can see they're quite low. Okay, but let's go ahead. I'm just gonna do the initial bit here, because these are your more common ones. Okay, so let's zoom in because I want to scare somebody, for instance, that they've got a power quality issue. So this is actually 30% here. This is just over 15% or 16%. You can see here. Now, supraharmonics, the very high order harmonics, tend to be very low, which is why I like to do them in decibels to show the relative force, because they are far more harmful because of the very high frequencies. As a matter of fact, if I have supraharmonics present, say in an electric motor, well, we're going to take a look at an example. Say I have one in an electric motor. Well, that supraharmonic is going to basically block any shaft brushes I have in place, and it's going to turn the dielectric in my bearings into a more capable conductor, which means even with shaft brushes and sometimes even, primarily the shaft brushes, it will blow right through those. So in any case, I have this set up now. Now I just save it as a PDF. We'll save it here as the test report 2, and then I will pause and so it says, do you want to replace it? I put those in everywhere so that it gives you a chance to be sure that you're going to replace something. Hold on just a sec. Okay, and as a result of that, here is the what we printed. So you can see this is the range that we had. So it basically takes the data that we had and it turns everything into the images. And let me pause for just a second. Okay, so here we go. This is that report. Now this report can be an addendum to the electric motor report. So this was one of the add-ons. Now let's take a look at the other add-on real quick. And this is the bearing database. So what we have is you set your bearing, and then here you basically say, let's say it's a 6203. Or actually I could put even a 620, and then it's going to sort through the database and pull everything up that looks like it. Let's say I pull up a 2Z bearing. There's that. We did have some replicates, so if I click on straight 6203, you see that I have, because I've taken multiple databases that I've gathered since early 2000 and lumped them all here for the first time. This is going to be part of the actual software. Right now it's separate for those who need it. If you need rotor bars and stator slots and you're a user, then you can receive a copy of the CSV before the end of the year, and then it'll be built into an option like this. So let's go ahead and take a look at an actual machine. So I could leave all of these open, as a matter of fact. That's the other thing. I made this very flexible, so I can leave screens open. I can open up multiple motors, compare them. I haven't done anything to lay machines over yet. That'll be later. Basically, I'm building into the software everything I like to do for analysis, as well as a lot of feedback coming back from our existing users and original beta testers. So if I come in here, all I need to do is just open a new analysis. Let's move to a let's see, do I have something here? You know what, let's go to one where I have the output of a VFD, F05E1F. So let's grab this one. Now, these are all the data sets that were taken, and there's a time in here. So you can see the date, 2024, 11/23, underscore, and that's the time, 1040, 1049, etc., and then seconds. So 10:49 and 41 seconds. That way, if I'm out and I collect data and I save it, it's going to give me an option of this. I can instead call it whatever I want. That's made it very flexible for that. So let's go ahead and we're going to take this one here, because this one and this one are inrush data. We have it set up now where it'll just start collecting data. It's still going to analyze it, even if I only have a small portion of my data. So let's go ahead and we're going to grab this one. It's going to open up, from that, it's going to open up my nameplate plate. As you can see, everything running in the background. I'm going to pause so that we don't lag, or we lag less. Okay, so here's the data. Now this is an output of a motor on a VFD. You can see that I'm out to about 4 kilohertz here. Now I may have done, I did do this data prior, and that would have been before we added in this extra little bit. So in any case, here we are here, 4 kilohertz, but I kind of end there, and right now that's for most systems. You can see the frequency shifts around a fair amount, but I can still analyze this. So it's going to select one of these as my primary frequency. It's going to analyze the data associated with that. That's how we're managing VFD applications and rapid changes in speed. Most other systems don't. This was one of my frustrations with all of the different systems that I've experienced. So I spent a fair amount of time working on this along with my team and our resources. So that's there. The watts loss screen is still set. That's going to update here in a second. There we go. And you can see I have different watts loss issues down here and so on. So we're going to run through all of this. So that includes, we will take a look at the belt as well. Then we're going to go back and do harmonics. So we're going to do a full analysis of this system. I'm going to pause in between each piece because, as I've always said, this Camtasia system eats up all my stuff. So we'll click Auto Analyze, and then I'm going to pause. Okay, so the first step just completed. This set to 1439.56. So that's going to be at about 50 hertz because it looks like we focused in here. That's going to be right about here. So let's take a quick peek and make sure that that is correct. And sure it is. There's a peak right at that point. So that basically identifies our running speed. So we're there. All the other conditions exist in here. There's also the winding stress peaks because this VFD, this was before our settings changes. Now, I can come in here and say I don't agree with something. So in this case, because of all the shifting around, pretty sure we're going to find that there's a problem with the PPF. Sure enough, pole pass frequency, there's one peak there, but it is right at that line frequency. So we will go ahead and just say, yeah, probably not a severe rotor bar defect. So zoom back out. So we can come in here and say, I disagree with that. Now, there's going to be a few things that we do in the next version 1.1, that will make that even easier so that there's a higher confidence of the data that shows up here. So that will be coming then. And then let's see, what else? All the other peaks here. Now, right now, for version 1.0 and 1.1, it's automatically going to bring up these vertical lines that show where all the conditions are that it's calculating. That is partially for training purposes, partially for a few other things, but also partially because it's a lot of extra programming to turn these on and off with this particular system. But that is coming. That will be there, version 1.2, which we're going to release an update at least once a quarter. So that'll be something that'll be an add-on, never detracts from what you already have. And then, the ability to use a prior version or request that particular feature back is always going to be there. So in any case, I have this. So everything here is in place. Let's go ahead and we'll see here. It's identified where those lines are. Here's all of my losses. Now, the pole pass frequency, because of where it selected it, it's ridiculously high. So we're going to take that out, and we're going to adjust this down accordingly. So we'll just for this, we're just going to say it's 729. And then once we have updated that, all of this is going to calculate directly from this data. So if there's anything I don't agree with, take it out. But here's all the components that are in here, and I have left all of this editable. Click on Analyze. It's going to go ahead and fill in all of my opportunities associated with that system. And you can see if I go in here, I'm looking at specific components, and they should all be close to the same values. Cage and ball should be very low, and then inner and outer race should be close to the same. So when I have something that sticks way up here, like the ball, and in this case ODE ball, those are about the same level. And then I also have inner race. I've got some damage going on, but I also have maybe a little bit on the lubrication side. So as I deviate, as everything starts to go up, that's going to be indicators of those problems. So if I deal with everything, here's my peak opportunity in tons of CO2, energy opportunity, and total consumption opportunity. This is what the machine actually consumes based upon the load that it is at. I can save, if I click on save, this is going to save the overall report. So I want to still take a look at my belted application. Now, I haven't put anything in here. Don't really worry about that too much. That's notes. That's not calculated. This is the calculated part. So we're going to say it's a belted application. We're going to analyze that. And it's going to bring up a spectra as well. Let me go ahead and, may not need to pause. There we go. So this is that spectra out to 5 kilohertz. I can go in, zoom in, take a look at whatever I want, just like before. If I open this one up, it'll start me down the path of the other analysis. So let's close out of this. So we have that. Now, that also means I have the addition of any conditions like the belt slip, sheave problems, and belt defect. Now it shows a slight slip. That means there's a loss associated. The speed's not exactly where it should be because this is a synchronous belt. So that slip will normally be, when we do corrections on it, closer to 0. But in the meantime, if I look at a regular belt, it'll produce the slip as long as I put the information in correctly. Now, once I've done that, then I can come back here again and select this. Now, if I were going in and did belt and then I'd put in pump information or the fan information, I could select this and this. And what it'll do is, so let's go ahead and let's enter something in for the fan. Let's say 8 blades. Just no particular reason. That's what I'm going to select because I didn't count the blades on it. I'd say it's a squirrel cage, so it'd have a lot more. So let's say 80. I could put bearing information in here as well. So we're going to select this and that, analyze. You can see that it's looking at a little bit more, including my pump information. So if I had blades associated with that out that far, I just said that for fun, it'll update that. So, and will also give me updates here. The replication of stuff, let's go ahead and get rid of some of that. It's also detected cavitation or turbulence. which we knew that was an issue. That was detected as well, but no other particular blade issues or anything else. So all of that would be identified. So let's uncheck that now, and we will do the next part, which is the harmonic analysis. Now, as you can see, that 4 kilohertz comes out to 8, 12, 16, and then roughly 20. Okay, so it basically exists all the way out there, and those peaks are relatively high, which means that there's a force going on with those. So let's see what it looks like from the harmonic analysis. So we're going to open up first the actual current data. So here's our current data, and it looks like the point when I was taking this, they were still opening up some dampers. See what it looks like. Okay, and the fuzziness on these and the kind of little notches in there, that's basically what software analyzes. Okay, and let's take a look at the harmonics. Okay, so here we are. Now, this is actually showing the THD and everything is relatively low for that period, which is very possible, but that doesn't necessarily mean great. So let's start out here. Here we can see this is the firing frequency of the drive. So we've got very low current harmonics. Now we're not doing voltage, obviously, but if I come here, you can see my third harmonic, they're all under, 10th, and it goes out. There's a fifth that's just about 0.2. So it's actually in pretty good shape, even on the output of a drive, except for this. This is going to be the drive frequencies. You can see way out here, 84 times, let's say 84 times 60 is going to give me, well, I'm sorry, this is 84 of the output. So, well, let's see what 84, okay. Yep, so these are all associated with the VFD. So these levels are relatively high. So even harmonics is even showing up as 1.3. That generally goes along with an overload like we see in this machine. So I have all of that. I can put down my conclusions from it in the... Oh, here it is. Sorry, it was on the wrong screen. I could put my conclusions there as well. Then I have this report that I can print from here once I have everything set up the way I want to display it. And I can also then save my standard machine report just by clicking on Save PDF, and that's going to save all of this information and all of this information here. So that's about it. Other features we're looking at is when I have my alarm settings set here, I had to manually change them because the noise floor was so high. Version 1.1 is going to do that automatically. It's going to base it on a standard noise floor and adjust your alarms should the noise floor be high enough so that you get fewer false positives. Things like that. And then there's going to be several other features that we'll have added in. So that is the EMPOWER and where we are with it there. Let me go ahead and clean this up, and then we'll start into looking at the EMPATH. Okay, so in this part, we're going to just quickly cover the changes to the EMPATH system. I'm not going to spend too much time on it today. Just a quick overview, and because today was more focused on the Empower, but as you can see, this is version 9, which is what we're working on. So that's the jump from the last version 8. We have in the file the setup options. There's a change in how it's done, so it's going to look a little different. Everything carries over. So when I installed it, all my settings went with it. So you'll want to take a look at, but it still doesn't mean I didn't go in and take a look. So there's all the stuff that's normally there, still there. Let's see if this sticks this time. And then, so in this one here, this allows me to now set my accelerometer settings for my version, which has has basically vibration capability. Here is all the other settings. Here's the alarm settings, the generic ones, for so on. Now, when I come in here, this will be corrected a little bit, but instead of a hidden file, now I have the scheduler. As soon as I'm in here, after I say OK down here, it's going to go ahead and set this up, basically turned it on me. No, it did not this time. Okay, good. So we got that. Turn it off. Well, in any case, let's give it a second to catch up. Okay, so while we're in here, so let's go ahead. We'll take a look at a machine, just a randomly selected one here. It's a pump I did recently. See, there are some pole pass frequency peaks on there, but not sure if that's going to show as an alert. Nope. Okay. And I do also see the bearing issues that I was expecting to see in a race on the drive end and the ball spin there. All of this is pretty much the same as what we had before. So this is a pump. You can see the cavitation there. You can see some other issues there. Also, the losses calculations are 0 because I have not set. I have set. Okay. So basically, there's some things that we're still working on with this, but it will be very, very, very similar to the existing. See, when this opens up, it doesn't show the spectra. This is current only. So let's go ahead and we can open up our waveform. There we go. And similar to what we have going on with the power, this is a different motor. You can see with VFD, they get a little fuzzy like that. As a matter of fact, in this frequency range, you can see that the firing frequency is somewhere up close to about 2,500, so in 2,500 and 5,000. So that is a quick overview of the the EMPATH. I'm sorry. I'll show you a little bit more on that once we have finished up the beta and we're getting ready to release it, which will also be the first month in 2025. With that, thank you very much. If you have any questions on the EMPATH or the EMPOWER, reach out to me directly. Thank you very much.